Welcome to the ET322 how-to video for the op-amp oscillator in Varactor Lab. Okay, I adjusted the potentiometer to get a nice sine wave without any clipping, and this circuit will start again if I turn it off. And I have 1.21 in and 28.2 volts out, so we're getting probably 10 or 12 gain. We'll have to get the calculator out, and a frequency of 717 hertz. So let's go ahead and get a closer picture of that using my snipping tool. And an oscillator puts out a frequency, and it's continuous. So here we have the 28.2 volts peak to peak, input signal of 1.21 volts, and frequency of 717. Okay, the lab asks us to change these capacitors to 0.01, and I've done two of them. I'll show you how to do next. Just go ahead and double click on it and add a 0 to the value. Okay, and let's turn it on and see what frequency we're getting now. And let's turn off. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move our potentiometer to start our oscillation, and there it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and spread it out. Do a single sequence, do our measurement, and our frequency is 5.4 kilohertz. And yes. Okay, let's test the circuit. Let's turn it on. Turn on our function generator, make sure it's in run, and we're oscillating. So let's go ahead and see if we could get more gain out of it. Need to click on the page. Yep, starting to clip. I was doing Control A instead of Shift. That's why I was having problems. Alright, so let's look at our frequency. 1.05 kilohertz, and it's oscillating. Okay, let's change our oscillator to 0.1. Switch the capacitors to 0.1. Okay, so that's 1, and this would be part of our oscillator. And these are filters, so let's go ahead and restart it. Good, and there it's oscillating. Let's move our, and let's change our, let's do Shift A. Let's start going down. It's getting smaller, so let's just do A. Let's move it up. And it's clipping, so let's move it back down. Perfect, and our frequency now is 105 hertz. Let's go ahead and do sequence. There's our oscillation, and there's our frequency. Test our circuit. I added the oscilloscope, the Tektronix, and let's set our voltage here. It's a 1 volt peak to peak. 1 volt peak, so we need to have 0.5 is 1 volt peak to peak, and our frequency is going to be 50 kilohertz. See if we can get this to resonate, and looks good. So let's go ahead and start it and see what we get here. Alrighty, so let's go ahead, turn on blue. So we take a look at our DC signal. Let's go ahead and move our pot and see if we get this to resonate. And there it goes. Alright, so let's change our timing. And let's decrease our voltage so we act down to a there we go. I knew I'd get it. And let's go ahead and move our pot. Oh, we need to move it down because we're at 100%. And it's not making any difference. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now let's change this to 1%. See if we could dial it in. Oh, good one. Shift A, so right there's our best signal. See if I can move it out. There we go. And let's do a single sequence. Let's do some measurements here. Check our frequency. 50 kilohertz. And let's check our peak to peak. 154 millivolts. And let's check our max here. 2.1 volts DC. And that looks good. Let's go ahead and take a snippet of it using our snipping tool. And there's our output. So this one has oscillated based on the input of our Varactor.